Civil War 2024. This is an amazing film. I'm so glad I got to see it. I was looking forward to it after seeing the trailer, and yet it was also terrifying. I was wondering how similar it would be to real life. I was thinking, oh gosh, it's almost going to be like a documentary about later in 2024 maybe. And yet it isn't actually like that. It's more of a cautionary tale. It's a warning about what could happen in the near future if we don't pay attention, if we don't sort out our way of thinking and our politics in general. There is such a lot of angst in the Anglosphere, in the UK and in the USA. We've both got elections happening sometime, most likely in 2024, possibly in November in the UK. It could happen as late as January 2025. The most likely thing is it will happen later this year, 6-7 months time. Yet there are people on the internet who think we need a civil war. They're very into anger and aggression, it seems. That's terrifying. We need to be able to sort out our disagreements in civil terms and not in civil war terms. I won't go into the whole politics simply because this film actually avoids the politics of today's circumstances. It has an alliance of states that aren't aligned in real life, Texas and California, and I think that is a clear indication that it's a very different world from the situation we are actually facing this year. A lot of the film is about the journalists who are covering the war. At the start of the film, we're in this war, and some people are reacting by ignoring it as much as they can. They're carrying on with ordinary life as if a war isn't happening. There's situations where people are talking about that, and we get to see towns where that is actually happening. And the film is like a road trip, a dystopian road trip, but an absolutely amazing road trip on the eastern seaboard from New York, convoluted, circuitous route to the capital, to Washington, D.C. via Pennsylvania rather than direct. And I'm reminded of a film that I saw earlier this year, The End We Start From, set in the UK. There's similarity to that. In this case, the film follows the journalists and they're absolutely courageous. Wow, you really feel for them. It's such a tense film. Kirsten Dunst plays Elise Smith. Wagner Moura plays Joel. Stephen McKinley, an older journalist, Sammy, and there's Kelly Spaney, Jesse, Nick Offerman, the US president of the time. Oh, and then there's Jesse Plemons, who plays one of the warriors, I guess. It was an absolutely amazing film. Really tense. I cared for all of the characters, so you just want them to succeed in their mission, and their mission is to travel to Washington, D.C. to interview the president. Jesse gets warned by Lee that there's a good chance she will just get killed on this hazardous journey. What looks like gigantic pile-ups, freeways full of cars that are smouldering, a bit like the road to Basra from 1991, if you're familiar with the first Gulf War. All kinds of scrapes and situations, people strung up. It's got a real dystopian feel to it, and it feels realistic. It's just what I would imagine, having seen lots of films over the years. Got to see what happens in emergencies in real life as well. You paint a picture in your mind of how circumstances are likely to play out. And we're living in a very fraught and difficult time right now. It feels really relevant and topical. The most topical film of the time. It's not relevant to this year. It's a much longer term, a more of a timeless film rather than something tied very much to the current day, to the situation with the presidential election in the US. Whatever happens this year, it will still be relevant in the future and still worth watching. That's where this is really clever. So that's my thoughts on this. For that reason, I watched it in the cinema and I'm so glad I did. I was glued to the screen. I'm going to score it 9.5 out of 10. One of the best films by far I've seen for quite a while. I'd really love to know what you think about it. Please leave any comments. Thanks for watching. Please like if you like this review. Thanks for subscribing, and hope to see you again soon. Thank you. Bye for now. I saw it on Monday, but I was trying to persuade a friend to see it on Saturday when I first had the opportunity to see it, but she wanted to see Back to Black, the Amy Winehouse film. I might review that some other day.